There's big news coming from one of Middlesbrough's Championship rivals, and that is that Bristol City are close to appointing a new head coach. The club have been looking for a new boss since the decision of Liam Manning to leave the club. He's taken charge of Norwich City, and he'll be at Carrow Road for the upcoming Championship season. Meaning that Bristol City were looking for a new boss. Now they've named Gerhard Struber as the man to be leading them moving forward. He's the man who will take over at Ashton Gate. And he'll face a big challenge. Liam Manning did a really good job there, in my opinion. Managed to get them into the top six last season, got them into the playoffs, and although they fell short in the semi-finals, it was a really encouraging season for them, and they'll certainly be hoping that they can kick on next term. Gerhard Struber, his previous experience in English football was with Barnsley. He helped them to preserve their championship status. So although his experience in the EFL isn't hugely prolific, he is someone who has been in the league before, and that could be something that works really well in Bristol City's favour. So they have big ambitions for next season. They'll be hoping to get into the top six once again. I think most notably from Middlesbrough's point of view, the big story to come out of that was the fact that Rob Edwards was a serious contender for that role. It had been reported in the local media that he was very much interviewed for the role at Ashton Gate. He was very much in contention and was considered one of the leading candidates for the role. But obviously, with the club being set to approach Struber and appoint him as the new head coach, it means that Rob Edwards has been unsuccessful. So for Middlesbrough, that could mean that we have a free run at Rob Edwards should he be the other person that we decide to take on the head coach's position at the Riverside. Obviously, Middlesbrough are hot on the trail of a new manager themselves. We got rid of Michael Carrick earlier on in June, so that search has been going on for a couple of weeks. Interviews took place last week. There's been some talks going on in the first couple of days of this week, and an appointment is expected to be made at some point in the coming days. And Rob Edwards was one of three standout candidates for the position. It was him, Danny Rowell, and Steve Cooper were the three main names on Middlesbrough's list. They were the three names who we believe are the three names. One of them will be getting the job at the Riverside Stadium. But it was a little bit of a concern what was going on at Bristol City. There was the thought process that potentially Middlesbrough could lose one of their prime candidates if he was to be offered the job at Bristol City. But now that Struber's been appointed, it seems that won't be the case. Rob Edwards is very much available. It means that for Middlesbrough, it means that they do have that sort of risk factor eliminated. It means that they can make a decision with a clear mind for who they want to take on the position. So for Middlesbrough, it's a big decision. The next couple of days are going to be really, really important. The players are due to report back for pre-season training in around about 2 weeks' time, so there's not really too much of a turnaround in terms of when the players will be back and when the new head coach will be expected to get started. Like I say, I think an appointment is likely to be made in the next few days, whether that's Rob Edwards or Danny Rowell or Steve Cooper, we don't know just yet, but I think a lot of fans have been reading into the fact that Bristol City haven't appointed Rob Edwards and kind of drawn the conclusion that he's potentially the front runner. Certainly with the bookies, he's the number one choice. I think he's odds on at present to take the position. So he's certainly the standout candidate, certainly someone who is, I guess, most widely tipped to take on the position with Middlesbrough. And it's not really hard to see why. Rob Edwards was someone who was very much in contention the last time the Middlesbrough job was available, when it was available after Chris Wilder had left the club. Michael Carrick ultimately ended up getting the position, but Rob Edwards was interviewed for the position. He was someone that was really well liked by the Middlesbrough hierarchy, and I understand that he was a real close second for getting that position. So Middlesbrough are still very, very keen on him. The fact that Michael Carrick's not in the equation anymore means that he could potentially be a really good option. He's out of work, which is a big tick. Steve Gibson really likes him. Kieran Scott has worked with him before and really likes him as well. They worked together at Wolverhampton Wanderers, so there's a bit of a connection there. And I think in terms of his fit, the way that he'd fit into the other team and into the structure, I think it would be pretty seamless. That's something which obviously Middlesbrough will have to consider when making the decision about Rob Edwards. But certainly going to be an exciting few days as far as Middlesbrough are concerned. I think that appointment will be coming very, very soon. So for Middlesbrough supporters, it's important. Watch this space. That appointment will be coming in a not too distant future. It has to, really, given how quickly it'll be until pre-season gets up and running. So I think fans are desperate, really, to get a new name in, so we kind of can start to make plans for the new season. There's been a lot of efforts going on anyway with regards to recruitment. That sort of goes on yes, with the manager's input and that sort of thing, but it does also go on kind of independently as well, with Kieran Scott and his team working almost autonomously, really, to make sure that they are bringing in the right talents with the right profiles for the team. So that's been going on behind the scenes. But really, once you get that new head coach in, you can really sort of nail down those plans. You can make some decisions on some of Middlesbrough's players for what's going to be going on next season. And yeah, it'll be a really, really exciting time. So yeah, exciting times for Bristol City. They'll be looking forward to the new season with Gerhard Struber. At the time of recording, it hasn't been confirmed just yet. But the reports coming out from the Telegraph are very, very reliable, and so it does seem like it's only a matter of time before that appointment is made. And so for Middlesbrough, it'll be up to them to follow suit and make sure that they can get an appointment made in the next few days. So keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on this channel for all the latest news. And if you have enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe as well. And there's going to be plenty more coming in the coming days.